Hey, YouTube, welcome back. Thank you for stopping in again. It's good to see you. Today, we're going to take a quick look over the Season 2.5 or Season 2 Reloaded patch notes, the meta changes and weapon updates, and what to look forward to over the next several weeks as we finish up Season 2, headed into Verdansk possibly, and Season 3. Here is the big updates everyone wants to see. How's the meta going to shift? What has changed? Did they nerf the Model L? Did they buff the AK-74? What's going to be the new long gun? What's going to be the new SMG? So first of all, starting off with our new weapons, we're getting in this season the D1.3 Sector, which is basically a saw blade launcher. That will be fun. It'll be fun to do some maybe some content with that. I don't know. It's available via the TMNT event, which will be going live next week, I believe. Skateboard, new melee weapon. We've already seen these katanas, new melee, the bow staff, the nunchaka, and size for our man Raphael. So those are all coming in the game via the bundles. I believe is the only way to get those for the turtles. But okay, so this is huge. Okay. They've been working on bringing these up to speed for a while now. Is this the change that finally brings Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 weapons closer into the meta? Following adjustments are only applicable to Modern Warfare 2 and 3 weapons and attachments. So all weapons for Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3, they reduced idle sway, weapon bob, and turn sway. Better handling on all those weapons for fire and ADS. Ammo attachments. High velocity ammo. Bullet velocity benefit increased from 20% to 25%. Removed the damage range penalty. Low grain ammo. Gun kick benefit increased from 5 to 12%. Recoil control benefit increased from 8 to 15. Removed the damage range and bullet velocity penalty. High grain ammo. Removed gun kick and recoil penalty. Round nose added an 8% bullet velocity benefit. Removed damage range penalty. Mono, bullet velocity benefit increased from 8 to 12, added a firing aim stability benefit, removed gun kick, and recoil penalty. So this is going to bring all those ammo type attachments back in line where they can be used without penalties on those older weapons to make them more competitive. Hopefully that all helps. Magazine attachments. Everyone wants to run extended mags, but there were severe penalties to that on those, particularly the Modern Warfare 2 weapons. Removed movement speed penalties on all MW2 and 3 extended magazines. Reduced handling penalties on all MW2 and 3 extended magazines. Removed penalties from medium-sized extended magazines on 2 and 3 ARs and SMGs. So we'll see what that does to those weapons overall. They have had several overhauls. Maybe this will be the one that finally makes them bona fide legit. The Superi has been pretty good with some of the changes that they had made to it. I know that I've seen people running around with the MCW on Rebirth and Resurgence. Maybe that is a competitive AR now. So they did buff the AK-74 with increased mid range and increased damage at the max range of greater than 86 meters. The Cypher gets a huge buff. I look for the Cypher to take over the meta in the long run. To be honest with you, we got an increase in ranges at all three. Minimum, medium, and maximum, and a damage increase at the longest range of over 71 meters. Also, leg multipliers increased from 0.84 to 0.9. That probably could just go to a 1. The Krieg C, which is a pretty good gun, but kind of hard to handle. But I guess I saw today someone say that it feels like it got a recoil overhaul that's not been mentioned here. So we might take a look at it as well. Ranges increased. No changes to the damages. Leg multipliers increased, however, from 0.9 to 1. So the Krieg C might be in the conversation. The Model L did get a buff, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to take it out of contention. The gun is very powerful. Of course, its maximum damage range up close was dropped by a point, and the range was dropped by quite a few, 20 meters almost. Minimum damage range, though, the long range damage range was increased by a point, and the range was also, of course, dropped with the range change. Lower torso leg multipliers decreased from 1 to 0.85. Bullet velocity decreased slightly by 820 to 800 milliseconds. So the bullet velocity change, that's not a big change. That thing had very high bullet velocity, and with the attachments on it that increased bullet velocity, it was clearly head and shoulders the best long-range gun at the time before this update. So we'll see. XM4 gets another little nerf. Damage was dropped at the maximum range, and all kinds of modifiers and aim down sight speed penalties, buffer stock, sprint to fire time. This thing should be dead in the water, dead in the water. So the GPR did get some buffs, though. Also, a gun they're looking to bring back into the conversation. Not a bad rifle right now. So we'll see vertical recoil penalty reduced from 55 to 40. Horizontal recoil penalty reduced from 25 to 20% with the CHF barrel. And rapid fire, the horizontal recoil penalty increased from 25 to 30%. So they're trying to change some attachments to entice people to use other attachments on other weapons to get different builds. Okay, the C9 catches a nerf. Honestly, probably not going to hurt it too much. It's very powerful. It's very strong. Basically, its ranges were lowered. It might have had a little bit too much range, so it still should be a great up-close weapon, SMG and CQB. Medium damage range 2 was removed, and bullet velocity was decreased slightly. I don't think that'll affect it too much. The compact, however, which was pretty decent, got a range increase in its up close and medium range. Aim down sight speed improved from 210 to 200 milliseconds, so a little bit faster, and that upper torso and arm multipliers increased. So that brings the compact into the conversation, which the SMGs are pretty competitive and pretty balanced right now. You can use a lot. The PP919, you guys know I've been using that a lot here recently. I'm in love with this gun. I hate to see it catch a nerf like this, but we'll see how much it hurts it. Ranges were decreased. Damage was decreased in the medium and the long ranges. So not by a lot, just a couple of points. It may still be competitive. LMGs, I'm not going to read all this because who really cares? No one's using LMGs. They're terrible. They're way too slow. The reload times are too slow. They need a lot of help for those to be brought into the meta, which is fine with me. I mean, they should be viable, but they're completely unusable in my opinion. The Fang 82, which is actually the most garbage gun that just released with season 2, they changed a lot of things with this. Pre-fire delay improved because it had like a slow rate of fire that built up over time. It was terrible. Slide to fire, dive to fire, aim down sight speed, movement speed, crouch movement speed, sprinting movement speed, ADS movement speed, all increased and decreased and improved. So I still don't think it's going to be usable. I probably will check it out. The AEK marksman rifle with the full auto mod. They talked about this in one of the articles recently that this thing was not working as intended. So they've increased the damage on the close range and increased the ranges on this weapon. They've also extended the extended mag size from 45 to 50 rounds. So hopefully this thing will become fun for people. I haven't really messed with it or used it because I haven't heard good things. SWAT 556 marksman rifle burst delay reduced. Rapid fire burst delay reduced from 200 to 170. So a little bit stronger there. Small improvements to shock queuing to help prevent accidental follow-up shots and spamming the trigger on the Sarkov 762. Again, I haven't used it much. SVD damage amount was increased at the longest range, and some multipliers were increased. But to be quite honest with you, slight bullet velocity increase. This gun is still booty. This is the worst gun in the game. Honestly, I would like to see him just delete it. That would be the best thing they could do for everyone. Okay, so lunge distance for melee attacks with melee weapons were increased slightly depending upon the weapon. Like, of course, the bat has a little bit farther range. And the underbarrel crossbow, they increased the ammo count by 1, ADS zoom level, increased projectile velocity, and reduced initial vertical velocity, reduced cases of overshooting targets in close range, so it makes it easier to hit targets at range. So if you're using the underbarrel crossbow, it should be a little bit better and easier to use now and more accurate and reliable. But basically, that's all the weapon changes we have. We've got some new weapons coming. However, I like these changes. I think that with the changes they've already made and the adjustments we've had over the last couple updates, you're looking at the Model L, the AIMS, the AK-74, probably the GPR, all being competitive in the AR slot. The AIMS actually has a super fast time to kill at long range, particularly compared to the other weapons. So I can see where people may start leaning on it a little bit. But again, there's talks that the MCW is strong. So I don't know if people are going to be getting away from the Black Ops 6 weapons, but it'll be interesting to see what they do going forward to continue to further balance the weapons and how the meta shakes out. But that's about it. So we'll see what weapons come into effect. We'll see what shakes out with the meta. And again, thank you for checking the video out. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the content. We'll see you next time.
Dude's a monster, rises again.